sometimes when I see a ranking of top whatever in a sports category, I click on it just to see if I'll feel something, to see if I'm truly dead inside yet. Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing. I am feeling alive after I clicked on Bill Connolly's top 75 quarterbacks of the 2000s.
Get out of here.
I saw this.
I missed it.
I am also very at peace with the knowledge that I am still alive because I felt something too.
Not only did I control F for Brady Quinn, 46 by the way, which felt a little low, but I then scrolled immediately to the top 10. And would you guess who number 1 is? Let's go around the room and guess.
I just saw it.
Jer Bear. Who's number 1?
Mackenzie Milton.
Charlotte, who's number 1?
Joe Burrow.
But he's top 10. Mike?
Well, if we're talking talent, Stephen Morris. But if we're talking actual accomplishments,
Morris had a cannon.
One of the best arms you'll ever see.
Yeah.
But if we're going like talent and accomplishments on the field,
Morris not ranked.
I'd also go with Joe Burrow.
Okay, that's actually.
I didn't guess.
Oh wow!
I just saw number 1.
What was that gasp? Now you're talking about the 2000s. Is Jameis Winston in there?
Yeah,
Or
he's top 20, I believe.
So is Timmy Chang.
As he should be.
Yeah.
I mean, Timmy
Chang, way too low.
I agree.
Offensively low.
Suspiciously low.
Offensively low. Because this is the thing, Bill Connolly didn't take into account like any sort of like special like cultural impact factor. Because Timmy Chang should have been top 20
but
at least.
What was
for
it? All
generation.
skill set, winning, stats?
I think, stats, winning, all those sorts of things.
But
like Ken Dorsey was pretty high because of
obvious reasons.
How many games he won.
But
Had a Brady Quinn, by the way,
if you're a
which was
Miami
shocking.
fan, do not watch back any of Ken Dorsey's passes. They don't.
He was very inaccurate. He had a lot of talent on the field around him. But is cultural impact? You're saying
like
needs
Graham
to be
Harrell.
factored.
Like Graham Harrell should be higher up because of what he did at Texas Tech.
What did he do?
I mean, threw the ball for a million.
They were ranked number 2 in the AP poll when he was there.
Do you not remember Halloween night?
He did it in Lubbock, Stugotz. He did it in Lubbock.
But off the field, like what kind of impact did he have? Like Graham Harrell.
Well, he brought in giant space-age offenses with him. Like just,
all right. My bad.
But it's not I don't know. That's cultural impact for college football and you.
I would think that with everything being said here, that Tebow has to be number 1. It has to be Tebow.
Well, but no, it can't be.
Or Steven Garcia.
It can't be.
Oh, man, he was good.
Because
Cole Brennan's equal with Aaron Murray. That's
Rest in peace.
crazy.
You don't understand, though, Jessica. Charlotte gasped when she saw number 1. We haven't gotten to number 1. Do you want to go through all 75? And
oh my God, do we have enough time for this? Because I will go through all 75. All right, I will say number 1. I'm not like offended by it. It's a good choice. It's definitely not what I would have put at number 1. But we could do maybe like the top 10 because I think all of the top 10 are worthy of the first spot. But the first one I would have given to the person that ended up in number 2. And I feel so alive, by the way. This is the most alive. I feel like I just did a line of heat culture in the bathroom because I'm so glad you guys are as fired up about this list as I am.
Is number 2 good Bo Wallace?
Mike, are you ready to do top 10?
Deserving.
Number 3 is good Bo Nix.
What is it with Bo's?
I love Bo's.
Bo Nix was a time, right? This feels like
he's still in college.
Time is still there.
He's still in college.
It's his 8th year.
Yeah.
My parents'
I
cat
think
name is Bo.
Stephen Garcia is
that his
backing him
second
up.
college?
It only gets to be a time when we see a photo of you as a kid in the Auburn stands, and then you're beating Nick Saban as the quarterback. Whatever that does in a green or black uniform is not the same as what it did there.
I'll give you the top 10 in order.
All right.
You can tell me what you think. Number 10, RG3.
Sure.
Good one.
From a cultural impact standpoint, also, he
You win a Heisman at Baylor.
Absolutely
Top 10.
deserving. Absolutely belongs up there. Number 9, Marcus Mariota.
Fair so far.
Very fair. Number 8, Lamar Jackson.
Too low.
Way too low.
Feels low.
Super low.
Way too low.
I mean, 8 is pretty good.
Yep.
8 is great. He should have been top 5.
But making Louisville matter is more impressive than the previous
9,000 passing
applicants.
yards, 4,000 rushing yards, 50 rushing TDs, 69 passing TDs, 27 interceptions.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
good.
crazy.
All right,
Yep.
let me reserve the right to take back the take that 8 is fine. Yeah, thank you. Well, I just got to see who's 7.
Kyler Murray.
No way.
I'd go Lamar over Kyler, but Kyler was great.
Vince Young is not allowed to exist here. He's too old, right?
No, it's 2000s. He's just hold your horses.
Okay. All right.
Hold your longhorns.
Well, you just made me say. You said Lamar Jackson. I'm like, well, Vince Young was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson.
Well, Vince Young is TBD on this list. Number 6 was Deshaun Watson. Fair.
Yep.
Number 5 was Joe Burrow.
Hold up.
Criminally
Number
low.
5?
I actually think it's kind of high because
What?
Joe Burrow was on one of the best teams of all time. Yes, he has 8,800 passing yards.
He was on two of the best teams of all time.
69%
Right.
completion rating and 78 touchdowns with only 11 interceptions. All right, I've talked myself back into Joe Burrow. It's pretty good.
You're out of your mind.
He's Ken Dorsey, except he was actually.
You
great.
don't need
So
Ken
you
Dorsey.
dare call him
Come
Ken
on,
Dorsey.
Come on, Dan.
I mean, you know I love you. Ken Dorsey.
What?
It's actually me, Ed Orgeron. This is one of my favorite players.
You guys didn't listen to the rest of what I
Who
said.
cares? You said Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey had 40 pros around him and wasn't actually that good. Joe Burrow had 40 pros around him on offense and was actually that good.
Mr. Ohio.
I changed my mind
Should've let you
again.
finish,
Lamar
yeah.
Jackson should be ahead of Joe Burrow.
No, come on.
It's the best offense I've ever seen.
It's the only team that
I know
can
he
compete
won
with
a
the
national
01
championship.
Hurricanes.
But like Lamar Jackson seems also he was like 1 yard away from beating Clemson in 2016. That really good Clemson team that ended up winning the national championship.
Who wins, Burrow's LSU or Dorsey's Miami?
It'd be the greatest game ever
It'd be the
played.
greatest game ever played.
It would be. Except, again, LSU has a quarterback who is a number 1 pick.
Listen.
And the Hurricanes have Dorsey, who's offensive if you go back and look at the
Again, should have let you
A
finish.
lot of fluttering
Yeah.
passes back in the day.
a lot of places. Look, Andre Johnson is open by 40 yards. Let's miss him by 10.
Guys,
Fielding punts.
I just heard a song that had Frank Sinatra singing from the window to the wall till the sweat drop off my balls.
To the window,
Yeah,
to
we all heard
the
that, right?
walls, till the sweat drops down my balls.
So what I'm saying here,
all these females crawl, singing, oh, skeet, skeet, goddamn.
Old Blue Eyes.
congratulations on your Suey nomination. Yeah! What I'm saying is, thank you. If Frank Sinatra can talk about his balls in a song, even though he's been dead for a long time, ChatGPT can absolutely make Miami play LSU in the greatest football game ever in at least 4 years' time.
Where
We
have
can
you
get this
been?
done.
I have missed you so much.
Well, thanks for having me. First time, long time.
You scared a journalist. You scared.
He walked out of here confused.
He looked
I mean,
shell-shocked by your hooves because you actually grew hooves underneath the desks there.
And
You were-
also, like, when I get into arousal when around, like, hardcore sports debate, my penis is actually the pink lipstick that the dog has, and it was out. And everyone just has to deal with it. We don't have HR down where I'm from.
The Red Rocket.
Welcome, Shar.
Thank you so much.
Number 4, Tim Tebow.
That's crazy.
Should be 1.
It should be a lot higher. He's the greatest college quarterback of all time, guys.
But
What are we
I'm
talking about?
I'm sort of here for Tim Tebow at 4.
I mean, cultural impact, Tim Tebow.
All right.
what he did in Florida to cover up for the fact that other terrible things were happening at Florida.
They had a murderer in their huddle.
Gotta give him credit for that.
Who's this? Hey, Charlotte. Allow me to shake your hoof.
Ignore him. Ignore him.
I don't know what this is.
We need HR.
I don't want
Don't touch his hand. Don't touch
touch
it.
it.
Dirty
Knock
talk.
out Demon.
I'm not doing
It's a
that.
talent.
Listen
Relax.
to me. Listen to me.
Just being nice and welcoming.
Don't touch it.
There's a reason he's the dirty demon of debate.
Oh,
It's not-
okay.
it's
All
not
right.
the
All right.
debate.
All right. All right.
Just real quick.
I'm not engaging with those hooves.
Just real quick. What do you think about Dak Prescott's contract?
I'm not doing this.
What do you mean?
Are the Raiders for real?
Where are we on this list? Number 3?
Vince Young.
Solid.
Yeah. That was great.
And this is where I find controversy. And in the words of our great, dearly departed friend Chris Whittingham, the bona fides of these two guys, I feel like one is above the other, but number 2 is Cam Newton.
Oh.
I
If you have Burrow at 5, I would have thought that Cam Newton would have been number 1.
Number 1 was Baker Mayfield, who I
Yeah.
loved in college.
I
Give
love
me a
too,
break.
but I
I
still
do.
gasp.
Give me
Yeah.
a break.
That doesn't track to me.
I still love him. I mean,
What team's he on?
It's on Tampa Bay, and he's looking great.
I wanted
in
Stugotz
OTAs.
to answer that.
It would have been so
I
funny.
would have
I
had
would
the
have
answer.
I still can't quit Baker.
Mike wanted to get in
I
there.
still can't quit Baker either.
Jessica,
I have
Mike forgot we were doing
Mike,
the
you
show.
blew-
Adam.
you blew it, Mike, because
Sorry.
he was a deer in headlights. He was so terrified by Jessica confronting him with, you love him so much, where's he playing right now? And he had no earthly idea.
It was like an hour away from you, Stu.
I was going to say the Rams.
That's offensive that he would be number one. I am indignant. I am filled with rage.
I'm a little indignant.
He had
went-
the
look,
Rose Bowl.
He had the Rose Bowl. He did the flag plant, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I feel like Cam Newton, I'm with you. I think Cam Newton should be above him.
I think Baker's definitely top 5. Maybe top 3 even.
Is Jalen Hurts on the list at all?
Jalen Hurts is on the list.
Incredibly high, by the way.
25.
Why did you guys interrupt what was going on? It was really good.
Jess, can you
A
tell
little bit more
everyone who's
discourse.
number 75 on this list?
Matt Ryan.
Oh, my.
Oh, Matty
Which
Ice.
I was... I'm shocked he played in the 2000s. Seems like he would have graduated before that.
I'm so mad Mackenzie Milton on this list that I'm actually shaking. Like, I'm actually shaking with how angry I am
I
that
think
this
you'll be
man
all right.
isn't on
You're
this
alive.
list.
We had a debate
I'm alive.
going on between number 1 and number 2. Who the talked about Mackenzie Milton right now and interrupted that?
Hey,
This
undefeated
guy-
national champs, remember?
You guys get mad at Jeremy. He's more obnoxiously UCF than he is even Heat, and I
Can't
didn't
wait for
think
college football.
That was possible.
I am so excited for it. May is the best time to debate college football quarterbacks.
Really? There's a
So
month?
alive. I haven't felt this alive since
Look,
the
any
playoff
day's a good
committee
day.
put out their last ranking.
I am troubled though that Jessica, as we've mentioned, a very young person, already needs sports lists just to see if she's still alive inside, to see if she cares about sports at all, to argue number 1 over number 3.
Check out this pass to Alan Hearns that Stephen Morris had on YouTube.
The chooch.
A startling, visceral reaction I felt on the fringes of Heat Celtics last night that had nothing to do with sports and conjured in me a legitimate delight because I love it when there's sports hatred in an arena. And this is not about basketball. It's about the reaction people had to AROD and Jeter being courtside. The visceral reaction of get them both out of here. Why is AROD wearing a suit and fake laughing on television as if he couldn't be closer to his Timberwolves employee? And the reaction was hostile. Get them away from shiny things in Miami. They've been around them enough. We're not buying any of what that New York fraudulent veneer stuff is around the sports we now like. AROD courtside bothered people. Jeter courtside bothered people.
I thought it was an interesting story. The other interesting story courtside is how is Brooks Koepka still awake?
I was wondering that. I was looking at him to see how many blinks per minute we were going to get, and he just looked like a broken man compared to the Panthers game.
That's an interesting question you pose. How is he still awake? Look at me.
You want to speculate?
Back to AROD and Jeter for a second.
Yes.
What are these frauds doing in that arena last night? What is AROD bringing a Minnesota Timberwolf with him to rep Miami, by the way, to be there and be like, oh, it's all about the 305. He's just putting his name on everything that he can to make people in Miami love him again. And Jeter, I mean, seriously, after leaving the Marlins, and we're going to bring, I mean, not to get the weird juju element of it, but really you're going to let 2 New York Yankees who blew a 3-0 lead to a Boston team in 2004 in your building? What is happening here?
I mean, would people have been as mad if the Heat had won? Like, was this from the get-go that
No,
people
we're-
were angry
we're-
about it?
we're
Or is
blaming
this
them.
is this proactive,
they're-
retroactively
They
upset
switched
about
up the
it?
juju.
Okay.
Yeah, they're bad juju.
But
don't
you
want
were
your juju.
you were cool with it when they were just sitting there at the start of the game.
Fine with one of them.
Fine with one.
Okay.
Not both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Also, incredibly aware of when the cameras are on him. It's amazing. Elite at it, A-Rod.
Especially A-Rod.
Although he is constantly fake laughing.
No,
so-
but this is good though. This is a good point that you're making because I've told you this before. I mean, this is an amazing brand management, learned around Madonna and J-Lo. This dude cheated. It was Jeter and Cheater last night. And A-Rod keeps doing the things that allow him to distance himself, working for ESPN, working for Fox, wearing a suit to the game, and fraudulently and elitely knowing when the camera's on him so he could fake over laugh because he's having the most delighted life listening to stand-up comic Anthony Edwards.
At least Jeter looks, bored the entire time, like he has generally for the last 20 years of his life.
But you say you want one of them to go. Only one could be courtside. I'd rather have A-Rod there than Jeter.
And that's fine, because at least the Heat were winning when it was just A-Rod. But you can't put both of them in the building? What are you doing? You can't let both of them in?
What are you guys doing to A-Rod? Come on, that's enough. A-Rod's, he's okay in my book. There's nothing wrong with A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Guys wearing a suit, guys laughing, guys.
We're fine with A-Rod.
Just having fun.
We've accepted A-Rod
Yes.
for what he is.
Yes.
We know what he is.
Yeah, we do know, but it's the opposite of what he thinks we think he is.
Now, the problem I have is Jeter thinking he could show his face in this town again. How dare you? How could you? When we said don't show your face in this town again, we meant it.
The two of them were enjoying, 3 decades of them being famous and spotlight sports people. Man, LeBron wanted all the attention after the Nuggets swept him. He wanted all of, please
Right.
just keep me. I'm still one of the best 90, I'm top. There are not
Do you think
5% of the basketball players in the world who are better than I am. He's saying as he swept.
most people had the theory that it was all premeditated to get the discussion away from the embarrassing sweep he suffered through and just have people talk about.
And?
Do you believe that? Because if so, it was effective. Everyone kind of ran with it.
Let's be very, very clear. He's not retiring anytime soon. He's just making a play to make sure that everybody on in the sports universe is being like, all right, we're going to talk about LeBron today.
Well,
Would you rather him play with his son in the NBA or rather him play with his son in college?
In college.
In
College.
college.
Oh, he
Yeah,
would
that
dominate.
ball sack thing got me going, too. I was like, this is actually a great idea. He's got eligibility.
Seriously, though, if I ask this question seriously because all of these sports need a turnover. At quarterback, at basketball, who are going to be the future faces? John Morant, Joe Burrow, is it you? Who are going to be the people who teach us to love sports, the next generation everywhere? Why would you think that people who are that competitionaholic, Michael Jordan, all of them, Tom Brady, that they wouldn't compete?
I think you should swap out Michael Jordan and put in Jimmy Butler
Fine enough.
in terms of top of the food chain
Knock it
competitiveness.
off.
But
I'm just saying competitiveness.
I'm talking about competitive of now brand management in retirement because you're not going to put that away if you're as great as they are. LeBron's going to want to keep elbowing Tom Brady out of the way as Jeter and A-Rod try to get close to everything and everyone's brand managing. And A-Rod's is the most amazing. A-Rod is courtside laughing, bought in on the Timberwolves because they're now all going into ownership as well because, of course, they want to own stuff. Like, of course, they want to compete at that too. Brady and Jordan want to compete at money at the highest levels. And that's all A-Rod and Jeter are doing. We ran. Remember when we ran sports? You and me, back when baseball mattered like that.
Except I was looking, and I don't think the two of them looked in each other's direction or went near each other the entire night. Because remember, they hate each other's guts.
There's that as well, which can't be covered enough. Again, Derek Jeter came down here, did nothing, fled in disgrace, comes back for our parties. Perfectly Miami, perfectly New York.
Showing his face.
I like the idea that there's like a limited amount of courtside seats or of like places to be seen, and Dan has all these guys like elbowing each other out of the way to get to the.
In Miami, it's true.
Kind of true.
You saw who was at the game?
I see a
Everyone
really
wants
great
to be in
visual.
Miami.
Luke Bryan was at the game.
Was he?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
Put them all at the game courtside. Kepka's eyes are dilated. He's courtside.
Allegedly.
He hasn't slept in a week.
He's competing too, but LeBron's not there. He's just shouting because he's not there. He's over on the other side of the country shouting, "I'm retiring!
Do you know what an
I
achievement?
might retire!"
Do you know what an achievement it is to be in a room with Dustin Johnson and no one suspects Dustin Johnson?
Of being on anything.
Did you understand?
I think we
what
all
an
assume
achievement
I think that
it is?
Dustin Johnson is just, we're bringing him in as the norm.
There was
It's
a
always
picture
that.
of Dustin
It's
Johnson
a bigger
in the
accomplishment than winning the PGA.
The first time I saw I did not notice Dustin Johnson was even in the picture the first 4 times I saw it.
how
DJ.
Miami is all of this. Just bring celebrity near the bandwagon and the party. And look, it's the thing that people are talking about. And LeBron doesn't want to give it up. And whether he did that on purpose or not, that's got to be addictive too, right? To be 20 years. I mean, Jeter and AROD could speak to it. To be the center of that universe, everyone's talking about you all the time, so much that they can't appreciate Jokic and a bitter Michael Malone.
No, I'm finally appreciating.
You called him Michael.
I'm finally appreciating Jokic. I am. He's playing because he
So
was
am
playing
I.
LeBron.
Yeah.
And I
So
realized,
much
and
that
he was
you're
playing at
still
8:30.
saying his name wrong.
Is it Jokic or Jokic?
Jokic.
Jokic.
Is it?
I did it wrong for
Yeah,
I
it's,
did it wrong
it's
for
like
2 years.
yogging with a soft J.
But Mike, we'll really start appreciating him if he wins a title.
Jeremy Jogger.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say
Jeremy
that, Jessica.
Cachet.
The reason that
York
Mike
Bear.
has a problem with this as a Latin person is we do the J-yay
Yeah, Morant. Yeah.
to everyone in Spanglish.
Yeah. So it's Jokic.
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 They don't call him
Jokic.
Joker.
Jokic.
They
Jimmy
should call him
Butler.
the Joker.
They should call
Joker
him the
is
Joker.
funny.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Should they call him the Joker?
The fact that we're doing this now, years into the Jokic experiment,
But he just started
is
playing
what's,
at
is
8:30.
what's funny.
Even in the bubble, he's playing at like
that
5:30.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah,
by
no,
the
I've
way.
noticed he's good.
I actually have stayed awake for
Also-
the second quarter of Denver Nuggets games for the first time in my life.
Also, I don't know what he started putting on his arms. Maybe some aloe, but guy hasn't bled.
This would also get so confusing for you guys if Nikola Jovic actually was in the Heat rotation, because there's a Nikola Jovic and a Nikola Jokic, and they're on opposite teams that might be going to the finals.
Huh.
But how do you pronounce the J in his name?
Jovic.
Jovic. But for Jokic, it's
Jokic.
Jokic.
It's all,
Jokic.
they're both yo.
Yo, it's
They're
both yo?
Jovic, Jokic.
I'm not so sure about this.
Mike, I got it wrong. I got it wrong for 18 months.
Yeah.
I was calling him Jokic the entire time. I was not softening that J.
From the maker of Ja Morant.
That's correct. But this is all
Which
my
still
Spanish-
stands, by the way.
my
Ja Morant still
Spanish-
stands, Dan.
My Spanish upbringing makes all of those J's.
I would love to hear an
noise.
abuelita try to pronounce Kachuk's last name. Just as an aside.
Chucky!
I saw a video yesterday. You mentioned Anthony Edwards and A-Rod, and it reminded me of this video that resurfaced of the Bulls celebrating
Gar packs.
the Jimmy Butler trade to Minnesota, and it looks so foolish. But my main takeaway from it was, remember when we just accepted that Gar was a suitable name for anyone? And we just called this man with jet black dyed hair Gar. What was it short for? Was it short for Garnold? What? Gar.
His full
Have you
name is
ever-
Gar.
His
full name
his
is Gar.
entire name is Gar.
It's not short for Gary.
Gar.
Like the fish?
We did not
Gar.
talk nearly enough during
you,
that.
Gar.
It's Gar. They gave him an Executive of the Year over Pat Riley just because everyone hated Miami. That's the same way D Rose got
No,
that.
I think Pat Riley won like a front office award the same year. But yeah, Gar Foreman won the NBA Executive of the Year in 2011, the year they drafted Jimmy Butler, and then they foolishly traded him away on draft night a few years later. And I don't know if you guys have been following the Bulls over the last decade, but they have Garpax has since been fired. Probably the best thing that has happened out of the COVID-19 pandemic was them getting fired in like April 2020, and things are still not looking up.
It was co-executives of the year. They won it. They split it.
His name is
split it.
Gar.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that.
But it wasn't short for. It wasn't even short for Garth. What? It's just Gar.
Garfield?
Gar.
Not Garfield. Just Gar.
It's 2 R's.
Yeah. We're like
Is it
what?
2 R's or
No,
is
it's
it
one. It's one R.
Yeah, it's
one R.
fine.
Like when he was born, did they ask the dad what do you want to name him, and he just stubbed his toe? Like I don't. He got tongue tied. Gar.
The fish is the fish 2 R's.
Greg
I
Cody
think
was
the fish
naming
is
the
one.
baby and was like, Gar.
So you believe that when the birth certificate was being typed up, that mom or dad tripped and they said, "What's
Burped.
what is your child's name?" And that's what they put on the birth certificate.
Foreman.
Jessica, stop doing that. I feel that I am hearing breathing on my neck. Some form of this show has gotten so cocaine-y with so many microphones. Today is National Mic Day. So many microphones, so many people talking. An exciting time, a crazed time in South Florida sports. This entire pirate ship is creaking and swaying from side to side in the ocean and springing leaks and totally nuts. And Mike's listening to the hub at midnight, and we got another Panther game here. Nobody nationally, nobody wants any more Heat and Panthers. They'd like all of it put away. And there are a million things I want to talk about away from Heat Panthers. But the greatest dilemma I have right now, and it's very frustrating to me as somebody who's trying to build a business, employees are stealing the snacks around here.
What?
The snacks, I saw somebody notice a green Pringles can yesterday, and people were lied to, people were told Dan doesn't want anyone eating the green Pringles. I didn't know Pringles was here, and the reason they were told that is because they're stealing the green Pringles and protecting the green Pringles. And I saw Charlotte smelled like she had green Pringles on her breath.
Not only smelled, Dan, I can see them within arm's reach of her.
Oh no!
Wow.
Detective Tony has
Brought them
cracked the
in
case.
here. Well, so here's the thing. I didn't know that these are such a hot commodity, and they're my favorite Pringles. And this is a perfect size for a Pringle snack because I can't, and at a certain point with the tube, when it's too long, your hand gets stuck in it. So I really enjoy these. Very excited. Come to find out, a lot of other people in the office really love them too. So we're in a Pringles war, I think.
Yeah, once you pop, you can't stop.
That's what they say.
There's a lack of savory chips here and tart chips.
Oh.
We just have plenty of plain chips.
Yeah.
And cheesy chips.
It's the variety pack, man.
No spicy
the
chips.
The variety pack is evil. Everyone loves a variety. No, variety pack is evil because all it does is it saddles you.
Division.
It saddles you with options that nobody actually wants.
So it sounds like the problem is that there's a lot of demand for green Pringles, but not enough supply. Has anyone considered asking Kristen or Hildy or Carmen to order more green Pringles?
No, instead, we just lie to each other.
Yes.
And steal.
Yes.
And come upon private stashes. That's what we do.
Okay, but part of the
Hoarding.
part of the problem is there are a whole lot of people here who have been hired and they're not a catering service. It was never their job, but we've got a bunch of Wolverines and thieves around here who expect to be fed and fed well and not variety packs because they're evil, as David Sampson marches through and says, it's kind of weird that you guys are feeding anybody because then the employees start stealing the
All
food.
right, get out of here with that. First
Before
of all.
David
Stealing the
Sampson
food.
was here for a week, we had all sorts of savory treats.
Oh, my God.
We had
Full-size sandwiches.
We even had salt and vinegar.
Oh,
We
man.
had kettle chips. We had Takis.
Oh, hot Takis, yeah.
We had hot Cheetos.
Yep.
Now,
Nothing.
nary a hot Cheeto.
It's like
Someone might just be hoarding them somewhere you can't find them.
like we do have them, but
Well,
they're
wait
all,
a minute. You say that.
I've seen people hoard them.
No, you say this. Jessica, you did not see what I saw yesterday, which was both appalling and delightful to me, which is Lewis in video, who was trying to protect. He had the secret stash somewhere, didn't think anyone else knew about it, was trying to protect the stash and corner of green Pringles. I looked up, and as he was making the argument, it was clear that he had a stolen bunch of cans like a cash belt around his waist tucked into his sweater because he had several of them in there protected from anyone else being able to lie and steal their way to having them, while claiming to others listening, Dan doesn't like it when people eat the green Pringles.
In Lewis's defense, he said that he will say that on occasion, not that he was saying that. And he saw me going for the green Pringles, and he was like, oh, no. And then he was like, haha, and pulled them out of his kangaroo pocket. And now I have taken on that habit. I am working on 2 cans of green Pringles simultaneously because I forgot I had one in here, and I just want to come clean about that.
So you have 2 now, not just 1.
Yes.
We just hired you. How are you already like stealing at a Stugotz level?
She steals at the grocery store. She admitted this on the first show. that she was in the
I said I
studio
have a
for.
friend who will sometimes take things from CVS if the self-checkout messes up.
Put it
That's
on the
not what
poll,
you said.
please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Do you have a friend who will sometimes take things at the CVS if the electrical checkout messes up?
What kind of business are you building here, Dan Le Batard?
I mean, I think, what did Cody call it yesterday? A slipshod business of some sort?
Slipshod operation.
Totally, it should be the Metal Arc logo instead of Metal Arc. But Jessica, what am I to do? I mean, you helped start a union on behalf of employees at Sports Illustrated. You're a leader for the people. What am I to do with the fact that there seems to be obvious and overt thieving going on among the employees to protect the snacks?
Well, I would like to say on behalf of the employees that our snack stash and our catered breakfasts and lunches aren't just for the talent on this show and for the people that you see on the LeBatard Show. They're for the hardworking men and women behind the scenes that are calling the
Making
show,
it all happen.
that are operating the cameras,
Like
the
Lewis?
lights, the internet
the best
stream,
crew in sports.
everyone. And those people don't have time to go out and buy a lunch and take a break. So it is a perk, but it is a necessary perk for us to function and do our jobs. And so for someone, a new hire especially, to come in here and say all of that is bullshit, they don't know what they're talking about, and they don't appreciate the hardworking people here at Metal Arc Media that deliver the show every day, sometimes on time, sometimes not on time. But they need this food and this sustenance to get through our grueling work schedule.
I went crate digging for a good 3 minutes,
What'd you got there?
and all I got was original Wavy Lays.
Those suck.
These are only good when you come out of the pool.
Why not just buy Ruffles? I don't get Wavy Lays.
No, look, I'm telling you right now, plain potato chips. Sorry, Stan Van Gundy, wherever you are in the world, you can keep them.
No.
there's
You
one
put
you
them in a
keep 'em.
sandwich after when you get out of the pool.
Not
that
the
actually
good
Turkey
one. Not the-
Club,
not
right?
the kettle chips, not the good
Kettle
ones.
Kettle
chips are
chips are for the
excellent.
boat. Kettle chips are for the boat. Regular plain
Fucking
chips are
love
for the
kettle
pool.
chips.
But are we going cheap on the snacks? Is that the
Yeah.
problem?
No, we're not going
Yeah, we
cheap
are,
on the
Dan.
snacks. We're not
No,
going
the
cheap.
snacks are good. I made a mistake thinking that I didn't have one of these from yesterday, and that's on me, and I'll own that. And I'm sorry that I have 2 cans of green Pringles, and I will share them with whoever
See,
wants them.
And now I don't trust you.
Charlotte.
Now, she's got more.
Yep.
Like,
Hot
but-
tip, by the way. They love when you chew into the mic.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great way to endear yourself to the audience.
Okay, cool. I'll work on it.
Because I've seen this strategy before. You like confess to a lesser sin, and then people say, "Well, she came clean." But meanwhile, like you're probably sitting on a Pringles can right
No,
now,
no,
like
no.
a massive one. Just
No.
no.
I don't have any other snacks hidden, and you can go through my tote bag.
Well, here's the problem, Charlotte,
room.
by way of welcome here, because you've been wanting to talk about, and I've been wanting to talk to you about for 3 days, and there hasn't been room amid the thieving to talk about how Taylor Swift, you don't believe she's a real sports fan. But your introduction to what it is that we're doing here has been complicated for me because I have a whole lot of people, not a few, complaining that the entire group has become so big-headed with fame and popularity and money, and we get better snacks because we earn them around here because we're important, talented people. You've been indoctrinated to a culture of total, complete, spoiled entitlement that includes thievery, and they're now accusing you of being a more gluttonous thief than them, which is shocking to me.
I have no idea what I've walked into or what is going on. I have 2 cans of Pringles, and I've apologized.
What are you sitting on?
Not enough.
Nothing.
I have had to defend.
I don't believe you.
yeah, you're lying.
You're
can't-
lying.
I don't have more Pringles.
You're sitting
You're
right
sitting
now.
on a can. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's
A
clever.
likely tale.
There it is. I see it.
There are no more Pringles
I
here.
I wanted Charlotte to stand up and just.
I know. I wish I'd stuffed my pockets with like fruit snacks,
An
and they just came
avalanche of
tumbling
just
out.
stuff just falling down.
but that would suggest it's all a joke.
It's not.
Not- it's
it's very
real.
serious.
It seems to be, from what I can tell, because I just asked Kristen about this. I'm just like, do we have employees stealing stuff? And I hear Lewis run into the video room with, "Do you know how expensive eggs are?"
That's his one move. Yeah, he's got to get a
What's-
better one than that.
what's he
They're-
gonna do with
They've
it?
come down.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
If he steals a duck, they'll be free, right?
those are free.
I'm pretty sure, though, that Lewis with the Pringles had a sweater full of eggs
Yo.
that he's going
We have
out
eggs here?
This is going to get bad when CJ McCollum gives us that wine. I'm telling you right now.
Question. Yeah, first of all, he's not giving y'all this one. He's giving me this one.
Who
I'm
is
the one that
y'all?
asked. Y'all, everyone else who's not a
Really?
me.
You're
What is
gonna-
that supposed
you're
to
gonna
mean?
hog all the wine.
Of course, I will be the. Look, we have theft rampant on the property. I'm supposed to just trust this amazing wine that's coming to us out of the graciousness and the kindness of CJ McCollum. I just trust to put it out there and no one's going to mess around. No.
You're not here a couple days of the week, buddy.
Well, guess what? Wednesdays and Thursdays going to get real fun around here, aren't they?
Not if you're in the middle of them.
Wow.
Ouch.
That hurt.
Words hurt.
Because you're stealing the. You offer to give everyone.
I don't think anyone's
drunkenness.
stealing.
Yeah, I
Stealing
just
is
took
very
2
harsh.
cans of Pringles and everything is just avalanche.
I have something to say. At the old studio, one time, Dan, I promise you, only one time. There was one time where I was leaving home.
Is this a confession?
Yeah, this is a confession.
You stole the fine bucket money?
If
No,
this ends
God,
with a
no.
fine bucket.
No, absolutely not. Come on, guys. I was on my way home from the Clevelander one day, and I was like, man, I'm kind of hungry, and I want this specific snack, but I don't want to have it here because it's dirty, and it's a snack that I feel like could get dirty easily. I'm going to take it home. So, Dan, I'm sorry. I took a package of popcorn home, and I made the popcorn at home. But I didn't have it at the studio, and
Are you gonna
that's
fire
been on
him,
my
Dan?
heart for a while.
Was
This
it
is
Dan's
unforgivable.
special popcorn?
It wasn't Dan's
No.
special popcorn. It was Orville Redenbacher or whatever it was. But I had it at home, not at the studio, so I don't know if that counts for stealing.
No, because
You
if,
bastard.
if
That is
counts
stealing.
as stealing, I would be in
That
jail
is stealing,
right
you
now.
bastard.
That is stealing.
I used to steal loaves of bread from my first job.
Where did you
Entire
work?
loaves.
You worked at a bread store?
From Vox Media, they would have gluten-free bread loaves. No one ate the gluten-free bread. I would just take it home. If no one touched it all week on Friday, I'm taking that bread home.
That's
it's my
perishable.
bread now.
That's
That's
happened.
perishable.
That's
Get that
happened
bread.
here, though. I've seen people steal bread as well. I think we should start a
She
new.
is.
a
She
new-
just confessed.
Okay, well, Vox can talk to me about me stealing bread when they want to talk about wage theft because that's the real crime happening here. I just needed a loaf. I'm Jean Valjean, all right? 2, 4, 6, 0, 1.